Thank you for joining me again in this episode. In the previous episode, we were talking about how to create descriptions and headlines, and all these future-proof marketing elements by using Ask Medicine on Nexus AI. In this episode today, what we're going to do is we will be discussing how to create ads that convert. But before we move on to this, I would like to remind you once again, as I mentioned in the previous episode, that once you have the answers and the insight with Ask Medicine about your company or this product or the service that you're offering, we recommend that you would write everything down in a document. Here in my case, I created a whole document for Nexus AI itself, the value proposition, and then a very extensive Nexus AI product description, and write down all the pain points, the buyer persona, which is really the demographic details of all the potential customers that could be benefiting from joining Nexus AI. We also discussed Facebook ad copies and meta ads headlines, just to get yourself ahead of time. And once you are ready to place a meta ad advertising, and then you will be able to use the ad copy and the headlines. But before we go there, I'd like to discuss with you right now this particular topic, which is very, very important. This is really the strategy of creating ads that actually convert. But before we go to Facebook or meta ads placement, I'm going to talk about in this episode about something very, very important, which is really the strategy of creating ads that actually convert. So the first thing that you need to understand is once you have it written already in your document, the description of your product, the description of your services or your company, you need to describe or discover. Maybe you also need to research what is the pain point. Discover your customers' pain points you can talk about or talk to. Research the underlying fears and insecurities and discomforts that cause your customer emotional distress, especially those that disrupt their sleep. In the previous episode, we discussed how you can actually research or get the AI to research the pain points of your potential customers for your that your product or your service can actually solve. Another way to do it is also actually on Nexus AI. There's a new marketing tool. If you go right there to the dashboard, this is your Nexus Academy right there. You go to marketing strategies. The new tool is called Deep Research. So once you have that, I'm just going to open this first. I just created a research for myself for Nexus AI itself. What I did here is I took from the documents that I created by talking or discussing it with Medicine, Ask Medicine. I took this short description of the Nexus AI platform, then pasted it right here into the Deep Research app under Marketing Strategies. Yeah. So what I did is here, the following is my AI platform product description. Research what my potential customer's pain point is or what it could be. So I copied and pasted the entire description. I chose the shorter description. You can choose the longer description if you want, and hit on Deep Research. So, and this is what Deep Research Nexus AI came up with. It's a whole document. You can actually copy it, the entire text. This is very long, or you can download in the form of PDF. So here we'll have all the marketing context and key findings. These are all the pain points that my potential customer would have or would experience that would be solved with Nexus AI. Complexity and fragmentation of AI tools, steep learning curve, and so on and so forth. Right, this is the first step that you need to do. You have to understand the pain points of your customers. And the second step after you found it, after you discovered and researched it and actually make sure you put it also into your document. Once you have all that, I already put it on here. This is my document here. I put it on Google document. This is here the pain points of the customers, to have it handy. The second one is to enter the conversation. So you need to meet them. You need to understand before you start creating a strategy for your ads on Facebook, or maybe in Facebook or in Instagram, or maybe on Google. Meet them where their mind already is. So you need to understand what your customer is thinking and feeling right this moment, and frame your messaging to match the conversation that they are already having with themselves. That's very important. And so you just join, you have to guess based on that pain points. You need to guess to them what is it that they're thinking about in their heads, what are they debating and arguing and talking about with themselves in their head. And the ad that you're going to be placing on Facebook or on Google should be something that is actually joining the conversation that they're already having. Okay, so the next step, the third step, would be solution framing. Position your product as the solution to their pain points. So now that you're actually already talking to them and joining their conversation that they have with themselves, right now you need to frame your product or your service in such a way to offer them that this is the best solution that they can get. So position your product as a solution to their pain points. Frame your product or your service as a natural answer to the customer specific pain or discomfort. Guide them to visualize the relief, improvement, or transformation they'll experience by choosing your solution. That is the third step in creating ads. Now, the last step would be buyer mapping. And this is also very, very important to see, which we will continue discussing in the next episode. So what is buyer mapping? So take it from here. Not every buyer that not everybody in your target audience is really ready or to buy, or actually is aware that they are facing problems, or is actually aware that there actually is a solution for their problems. Every buyer has is in a different stage. So in this, what you need to do is you need to communicate to them across all stages of buyer awareness. So develop messaging connects with buyers at every level of awareness. And what are the level of awareness? That is something that we're going to talk about in the next episode. So from completely unaware to until they are ready to buy. That's what you need to talk to. That's what you need to address. Instead of competing for the small percentage of buyers already in the market, how about you learn to bridge the gap between each awareness stage and your offer? So mastering this skill will dramatically expand your reach and potential for scaling. This is a very short episode for today, and we will continue to the next episode where I will explain to you the different levels of buyer's awareness. Thank you for joining.